Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 16 of the Startup Soirée Podcast. This is your host, Patrick Reif. It's another beautiful day here in Baltimore, Maryland. Spring is coming out. Plants are starting to bloom. Trees are looking good. Today we have Esther from REV Cycle on the Startup Soirée Podcast. REV Cycle is a spin salon. I hope that's an okay way to refer to it. But Esther will clear that up for us, no doubt. But outside of just being a spin salon, Esther is an incredible personality, and I can't think of someone who is a more interesting kind of visionary spin instructor. Not that I have a wealth of experience, but I have had at least the experience of her class, and I can't imagine it being any other way. So without further ado, Esther, welcome to the Startup Soirée Podcast.
Thank you, Patrick, for having me here. I'm super excited. Yeah, REV Cycle Studio is totally a revolution of fitness. Our main concept of REV is not just a sweatbox, but a sweatbox that involves the passion of the community for the community.
That's awesome. So if you don't mind, give us a little bit of the quick and dirty, the age of the business and kind of like where the inspiration came from.
Totally. REV was something that I've wanted to do for many, many years. I've always been a fitness passionate person since I was 16, 17. My first client was my mother. She was overweight, and I saw her struggling with weight, and I just one day grabbed her and said, listen, you need to break your fear, and you got to come to the gym with me. And off we went, and I realized that in reality, humanity only just needs the support of other people to achieve their best. We push ourselves, but not until someone tells you, listen, you need to just break out of your limits. There are those limits put by society. You can do more. And just by the support of someone, you will really achieve what you thought was not possible. And that comes with how I was raised, that you can always push for more, and you should never settle and always fear that you have to have that thirst of life. And REV came to that concept that we need to lose our fears to be able to be bigger than what we think we are able to. And I lost my fear of thinking that I would fail, that I would not have money to pursue my passion, my dream. And once I realized that I needed to do what I was telling others to be my own legacy, this is how REV then got created. It was created with passion, with the love of fitness, and to make sure that everybody feels supported to accomplish their goals. That's what REV is to be able to help you in your life be the best that you are.
So you have such a very unique and intoxicating zeal that you bring to life, and it's definitely something that you clearly a lot of the things that you do are predicated upon it. And I'm curious if that's something that is was how you've always been, or if it was something that's a product of something that happened in your life that produced, whatever, it was a catalyst for this kind of attitude that you kind of lived through.
It's a great question and interesting. I always go between nature and nurture. And I really think that for me, in my adolescence, I struggle like any other adolescent. Every family has their complexity, and everybody's unique in how they were brought up. For me, I was a constant immigrant. I was born in Nigeria. My parents are both European. We moved from Nigeria to Italy, then to France. And then my parents both decided to migrate to South America. My father's an entrepreneur. His business is everything, and it's really more where he traveled and what he could do out of himself. And so being a constant immigrant, in a country, we settled in Chile for 18 years. I lived there. I was always the foreigner, no matter how you went to school, you always dressed differently. You always ate differently. You always had an accent. So I never really felt that I had a place like home, which then also gave me the tools of never settle and always strive for your best. No matter where you are, you will always make the best out of situations. And then as my adolescence, my father had a very heavy depression. My sister and my brother had both left to go to the States for school, for college, and I remained back at home with my mom and my dad. And my dad, he was not himself anymore. Depression took over him. My mom and I, all we could do was to really keep him entertained. We had to force him to eat. He would not eat. He was like a caged lion, circling and just not sleeping. And for me as an adolescent, I didn't have that adolescent time to just go and breathe you. I had to take care of my dad and therefore take care of my mom. And I really struggled in that moment of like, this is my family. They need me here. But it also gave me who I am, that I never will stop myself from being who I am. But I also need to take care of who I love the most, which is my family. But that made me a stronger person. It gave me also that outlook, even through my adolescence, that you are who you are, no matter what happens around you. And it gave me the stamina that no matter how deep I am in my knees, I know that I can stand up. And I know that I can handle myself because I am my only best friend. And I will have to always cherish who I am before I cherish anybody else. Like, I got to take care of myself first before anybody else. And that's how I think I strive in my passion, that I then teach that in my classes when I stand in the podium on a bike. I don't see a group of people that are there to sweat. I see a group of people that are there to get connected. And we can get connected through the sweat.
It's like church.
The church.
The Church of Esther, the Church of REV. I think there's something clever that I could come up with if I wanted to keep riffing on that, but I'll let it go. I think that what you say really hits home for me. So full disclosure, in my personal life, this year has been full of tumult. To say the very least. I've lost my mom within the last few months, and my grandfather, who is 99 years old, I became his guardian, and he's into a battle with dementia, and things are getting really crazy. And the joke that I keep making, so it's we're recording this in the mid of May, and I will turn 35 next month in June, but I keep joking that this is the year that I have to grow up. Like, I finally have to grow up. But one of the things that I keep kind of recognizing, and it's interesting because I recognize it in two positions, I suppose. But how much these experiences are shaping me. They're actively shaping me, but I'm aware of it. I'm conscious enough to recognize that it's happening. The way these experiences, the way having to lose my mom is shaping the way that I'm parenting my children, and the way that I'm trying to take care of the people that are around me, and the way I try and choose my words more carefully, and what's important to me when I interact with people on a day-to-day basis. Like, all of those things are getting defined and refined, and I'm gathering a better understanding of them myself and how I feel about them, and it's all predicated on that stuff and those growth, and it's funny. So for me, I find it poignant to hear you kind of drawing the tangible out of your emotional experiences, and how, it's just a testament to how much our personal experiences really do shape what we become and what our intentions are and how we move forward.
Absolutely. It's being conscious and being mindful. And for me, what I learned is that you have to be grateful. No matter what life gives you, we all are going to be in one day down on our knees, and no pain is bigger than someone else's pain. We all handle it so differently, and And what someone feels like it's a storm, for others might be just a little raindrop. We all deal with things very differently. But one thing we cannot lose perspective is that one has to be grateful to what one has. And it is up to you to really make the best out of what life throws at you.
So, you work your ass off. So I'm curious what you consider hard work.
Hard work. Well, for me,
not for someone else. Not for someone else. Like for you. I want to know what hard work is for you.
I love what I do. I'm very much my job. It's not really a job. I play all the time when I go to REV at the studio. To see people getting their commitments and getting their goals and getting in action, for me, that's playtime. So for me to say that I work, it's like work blends with life, and my life is work, and work is my life. So for me, hard work is literally when you go to bed and you have a smile in your face because you're grateful for what has been achieved. And then when you wake up, all you do is like, okay, let's do this again, and let's do this better. So for me, work is when I'm happy with the outcomes of what the day has given me, so I can then wake up the next day and do it better.
Okay, so that said, what qualities do you excel at?
Where do I excel in?
Where do you excel? What are you incredible at?
I think at my strides of endurance, I have a great stamina. Sometimes I can go, and then it has to be my husband that tells me, Esther, you haven't eaten all day, or hey, when are you going to sleep? Or I find myself at 3 a.m. getting up in the middle of the night saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this thing done. And he goes, no, you need to stop and sleep, and you'll get, this will get done. So I think I strive that I have a great bounce of energy, and I use it to my fullest.
All right. How about I'm curious about a little bit of your daily routine stuff. Do you read?
I wish. I pick up a book, and I maybe pick up 3, and I never finish them. I would love to say I read because my mother was a big reader, but I just get so distracted. I cannot sit and read. I've tried to pick up one book lately, and it's been like, all right, chapter 1 again. I get very distracted.
So where do you get your information from?
I do a lot of, I love to read quotes. I love Pinterest to get ideas from just getting, quotes. I love browsing through the internet for clever thoughts here to then go into my class with a fresh idea. Like last night, I saw this post on Pinterest about, you are your own limit. And that was the concept in Church of EC, that you can break your limits. Society put these limits on you, and we are able to break them and melt them. You never will know where's your limit until you know it. And for me, that was the concept of last night, and it was refreshed with the clients really, really working hard, and I felt so honored and proud of them. And so I get my ideas, I guess, from the internet.
Okay. So you read constantly. You're just doing it in non-traditional ways. I used to be like a really big book reader, and I don't touch books almost at all anymore, but I definitely consume a ton of content. It's just sometimes I think we become unwilling to recognize that we're just like the source has just changed where you're reading at, but you're still actually reading a lot.
Agreed. My mother and I email each other every day. She lives abroad, and for us, the easiest way is through email and because of time difference. And it's amazing how I get so much also from her writing. She writes so inspiring, and I get inspired after her emails, and I take that to my classes as well. I bring a lot of her.
So I was wondering if I could ask you a few kind of business questions, like business, like how you do business. in regards to your team, how do you get the most production out of your team?
Our number one goal at REV is really client. If they're satisfied, we're satisfied. But it also starts with our staff. So we want to make sure that our staff is completely taken care of, that they feel like they're important, they're valued, and we do a lot of things for them, like taking them to the baseball game, going out for happy hours, going out for little dinners, little get-togethers. We give them little gifts. We make sure they feel appreciated. If someone values to be telling them, oh, you do a great job, if they take a lot from you by just saying those words, make sure that we find the time to appreciate them. If someone likes to have little gifts, we make sure to give them a little gift card. I know one person loves this athletic store, so we give them a little gift to that athletic store. So just do little things that go so far from people to feel appreciated. It then brings the value out of their work. So to make it fun and that they feel that they're appreciated.
So you try and know them. Actually know
motivate
them.
them, move them, yeah.
Know them.
Whatever it takes to make sure they feel happy, so then it will trickle into our clients.
Yeah, no doubt. I love that stuff is just so important. For us, Pixelated, it's got so much to do with the people in our organization and what we all do on a regular basis and how we impact each other. And I don't know, for my money, it's the only way that I really want it to be, because I don't really want to spend my time with people that I'm not interested in, getting to know on a more intimate level. We all have to spend time with people every day, so it should be, it can be worthwhile. It doesn't have to be vague and faceless. So, hurrah for that! Double high fives for that. Okay, so how about this one? Here's a fun question. I hope I'm not going to stump you too much, but I'm going to throw it out there. I've never asked this question before, but I always want to. So cash flow, right? Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not great. In your slow months, if you ever have slow months, what do you guys do to kick up cash flow? You have anything creative, anything that you've done where you've been like, oh, we're heading towards the brick wall and we got to really pull it together. Let's do this again. Or what if we try this? Fill in the blank.
So REV Cycle Studio, we've been open for about now 16 months. REV Cycle Studio is co-owned by two of us. We're both 50-50. My business partner and I are both in here 100% with it. And our slow months are definitely the summer. Last year, that was our slowest month. And then this year, we're happening to see it again. Last year, we did Groupon, which we had to do because we were the first year. We don't want to do it again. Groupon devalues your business completely. We want to be known as, like when you think of Four Seasons, Lululemon, companies that are high end, and a boutique studio like ours, we want to be associated with those kind of brands. So this year we're not doing Groupon. What we're doing instead is valuing what we have. We're just kicking off today the 30-day revolution. It is a 30-day program that clients are paying a higher price for a package that will give them more support, bring them leaders of the fitness industry to them. So it creates more of a community for them to assist them in their goals of nutrition as well. Gondola Juice is coming on board on this. We love Gondola Juice for who they are also. We value them as a very high-end juice, cold juice. And so we are bringing the element of what we have in our community of Baltimore to elevate and enhance our clients for them to pay a higher price so we can also go through in these months of summer that are pretty hard on us.
So building relationships.
Correct, absolutely, with the community of Baltimore. So we also will then enhance our cash flow for the summer. June, July, they're hard ones, and we embrace it. We go head hard. Last year, there's sometimes I didn't catch any salary. It's just you gotta do what you do. You gotta put front your best foot and big smile and spill your heart open.
Awesome. Great solutions. tangible
Work even harder.
tangible and emotional solutions with Esther. I think that you'll probably have some really good quotes that can come out of this podcast as well. Esther, that brings us to kind of to the conclusion. Before we go, though, please let everyone know the best places to get in touch with you, but also the way that they should participate in the REV brand.
Absolutely. We are located at McHenry Road, Federal Hill / Locust Point, next to Harris Teeter. Our website is www.revup.com. You can contact us through our website or our contact link. Find me there, and I'll definitely be the one responding to those emails. And check our website and come and sweat with us. I promise you, you will not be disappointed, and I will enjoy to fuck your legs up in the bike.
There you go. There's that soundbite I was waiting for. Well, Esther, thank you so much for being a guest on the Startup Soirée podcast. All of you out there listening, if you haven't yet, make sure that you hit the subscribe button on your iTunes player. You can also find this podcast on the Stitcher Radio app as well as SoundCloud. So 3 spots. You can tune in there. You can stream it from our website. Do all of that stuff. If you really want to help us out, take 2 seconds, go over to iTunes, leave us a review. Those reviews help more people find the show, which helps it trend out, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to spread the message about how awesome the spot is. So all of that considered, big things coming up for Startup Soirée over the next few months. There's something special happening the first few days of June, so stay tuned for that. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Peace.